the vocals out, now you witnessing a survivor speak. I done messed around and went viral right from my driver's seat. Just like what the industry was containing. I'd rather make a difference instead of hating, complaining. So let me park the whip, it don't matter, rapper or model chick, singer or comedian, perfect. Let's park in politics. Hey, let's park in politics. Welcome to the pullover, let's park in politics. This the pullover, let's park in politics. I say this the pullover, let's park in politics.
That's exactly what we doing tonight. We parking and politicking. What's going on, everybody? Let me just make sure I get everything straight. I want to make sure that's what's up. Now, the audio probably might be good, but the video probably will be a little bit skirmish because I am working with limited video audio. I mean, audio must be good. If you guys come in, y'all know what to do. Shit, give me them thumbs up. Let me know if you guys can hear me good. No, like that. I know the video probably again might be a little bit on the skirmish side. I'm looking at my phone. I'm doing pretty good. I'm in an area that's really not pumping out good data, but we're gonna try and make it happen. What's going on, everybody? Lockoutmen back in the building again, and this is the pre-trip. Welcome to the Lockoutmen podcast show. I have a special guest on the show tonight. He reached out to me via email, and he want to talk about a certain company, and we're going to get into all of that. Bro, where you at right now?
Salina, Kansas.
Salina, Missouri. What? Kansas. Kansas. Oh, you're in Kansas. You're not in Kansas, Missouri. You in the state of Kansas.
Yeah. It's Salina, Kansas, right off of Interstate 70.
Okay. So, shipper, receiver. What are we doing right now?
Receiver. I'm gonna be delivering tomorrow morning, first thing, as soon as they open.
Okay, you sound like how I rock, man. We try to get there at night, be there first thing in the morning, right. and then after that clock, reset. You got a full fresh 14:10, 14:11 to rock for the day. The current company that you at, man, how did they Do you got something set? They already got you pre-planned, or what? How do they do you, man?
First of all, it's a small mom pop company. They only got like 7 or 8 trucks, and they're out of Kansas. Found them through a friend, and yeah, man, this is a stepping stone for me. I'm on my way to become a full bore owner operator is my goal.
Okay, that's what's up. All right, the pre-trip brought to you by Poddats, bro. I got a couple of quick questions for you before we actually start the show, man. So let's get into it right quick. Also the pre-trip is, we here for the replay people. So when they come on and press that button, they already know that we already chopping it up, and we just waiting for the people to file in. YouTube do its thing, which.
Right.
I still get a mental finger to YouTube. All right, first question is, when were your parents most disappointed in you?
Wow.
I know, right?
That's we're going deep right off the bat.
Right off the bat. I'll show you the card. I'll show you the card because this is the actual question.
No, I trust you. When were they most disappointed in me? Wow, man, I wish I would have been ready for that one. I guess when they found out that I was drinking alcohol, I guess, before 21.
Okay. You a mama's and pops guy kind of guy.
Well, we grew up in the church, so you have to be by the book. So
okay.
They find out you drinking, that ain't kosher.
I got you. So what? Parents was your father was a pastor, mom's was a pastor, or y'all just church going folks?
Oh, they just raised us all. It was 5 children they had, and they raised 5 kids in the church
Okay.
in the
That's
South
what's up.
Bronx over there.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Funniest place. Now, this probably might be, right up your alley, being that we're truck drivers. Funniest place you ever fallen asleep or shut down.
Man, I had a real interesting. I had a bad experience one time. I was on Interstate 70 in the Colorado Rockies, and I was with CR England at the time, and I was running so hard I couldn't see straight, and shut down, like literally right by Interstate 70 across the street from a truck stop, and woke up at 3 a.m, and it was like 12 degrees. I was freezing, bro.
Wow. So what?
I don't even know how I slept through that.
Like, what happened? Your APU just ran out, or your truck just turned off? What?
The APU was still running, but when I went to sleep, I think it was still daylight, and it was like 45 degrees, and then it dropped to like 12. It was terrible. There was snow on the ground. It's just, yeah, the Rockies, man. It was crazy.
Yeah, see, I can't. See, I can't f with a truck that don't have an APU, man. Now, luckily for me, the truck that I'm in right now, the company, quote unquote, don't like us idling the truck because of the APU. But the APU, this motherfucker sometimes got a mind of his own. So, like, I'll be sleeping, I'll be sleeping, and it'll be warm and cozy and shit. And then I'll say maybe about 4 o'clock, close to the time when I get up, the motherfucking APU is kicking out cold fucking air. Like, bro, like, what the fuck?
That's pretty common.
I don't get that. So that's why I just idle the truck. Now, if it's like a little bit on the warm side, then yeah, I'll turn the truck off and leave the APU on, because it does kick out the quote unquote cold air. But as far as the wintertime, no, this motherfucker running all night. Now when I get into owner operating status, then I will probably pull back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you're paying for it.
Exactly. Last question for you, bruh. What is something you get wrong almost every time you do it?
Man, problem with that question is I'm a perfectionist, so I try not to do that.
Okay. That's what's up.
I'm not perfect at backing, I should say that.
All right,
I don't always do a hole in one. That's a good one.
That's what's up. I can attest to that. Everybody is not that good at backing, and if they say they are, I don't know. Maybe
it's impossible.
Maybe it's in an open area like where I'm at right now. You could like literally swing the truck. You could jackknife the truck into a parking lot where I'm at right now. But some of them shippers and them receivers be on some shit, man. All right, well, that's it for the quick questions, man. We about to go ahead and start the show. Let's go ahead and get into it, man.
All you have to do is stay a minute, just take your time. The clock is ticking, so stay. All you have to do is stay.
What's going on, everybody? Lockoutmen back again with another podcast for you guys. Welcome to the show. This is the Lockoutmen podcast show. And then tonight's special guest, we're welcoming to the show my man, David Rodriguez. He reached out to me. He was like, "Yo, I got a company I want to speak on." I was like, "All right, let's park in politic right quick." So let me go ahead and welcome everybody. Father D, what's going on? Unsung hero of YouTube, what's up? Debbie Nitson, what's going on? Paul Hall, what's up? What's up, bro? New subscriber, I appreciate it, man. Yo, drop that join button and get me some coffee, bro. I will appreciate that. And Debbie, you came back with the whoop whoop. What's going on? My G, man, let's just start right off the bat, man. We'll tell us about where you from and your trucking journey and how you got started.
Well, originally I was born in Puerto Rico. I was, normal migration, New York City, and then I left there at 20. Lived in Tennessee for 3 years, and then later on moved to Kansas. That's when I started. I started my before trucking. I did school bus, then I did coach bus for a year, school bus for 3, and then after that, I got tired of dealing with people. I decided to get a CDL Class A. Went to CR England, did that for like a year and some change. And
all right, so you let's start with the school. You say school bus or public bus?
School bus. Yeah.
All right, so let's start with the school bus. So where did you go to the school bus? Did they get you your Class B license, or you went to school first and then you got hired on with the school bus company?
Well, the school bus company got me my Class B, and that was part of the kind of like trucking companies do. They do the same thing.
Okay. So you how did you come across the school bus company to get your Class B?
That's still the case today. That's pretty consistent. Every city, every state, they're always needing school bus drivers because it's a tough job. Salute to all the school bus drivers out there dealing with other people's kids. You gotta be tough.
Yeah. So when you got hired on and they trained you, of course they trained you in the school bus. You also went and got your Class A. So what's the difference in training between training for a school bus and training for a semi truck?
Well, when I got to CR England and got my Class A, I found out not a lot. You think it'd be very different because you got a fixed vehicle, the school bus that doesn't articulate, and then you got the semi that does articulate at the fifth wheel. But when I started driving that semi at Salt Lake City, I couldn't believe how easy I was making them turns. Nobody prepared me for that. So I tell people to this day that want to get into Class A CDL, truck driving, go drive a school bus for 1 or 2 years. Because I don't want to say it's the same, but you have to turn. I mean, anybody that's watching that's driven any kind of coach bus or school bus knows that from your steering axle to the rear drive is 40 foot anyway. And strangely enough, that 40-foot rule comes right along with trucking.
Okay.
So that's what I tell people even till today, because anybody that's maybe watching and wants to get a CDL, what happens is you do Class B. It's not only good because you're driving a fixed bus. If you get into coach bus, that's a little longer, it's a little more challenging. But the point of the story is when you do go back to the DMV to go to Class A, you don't have to do general knowledge. All you got to do is combination and air brakes if you don't have it.
Okay, that's what's up. So dealing with other people's kids, man. How long? Let's see. You drove. How long you drove school bus?
3 years, man, and that was too much.
So for the 3 years that you was driving school bus, you was driving school bus when you was in Tennessee?
No, that was I jumped into that in Kansas. So Kansas was what started my, Interestingly enough, I wanted to do trucking in Tennessee, but some family members talked me out of it.
Okay. So driving a school bus, what was the experience driving a school bus? Because I know, kids go to school 9 months out of the year, and then y'all off for the summertime, and then y'all come back. Do y'all get paid for that little bit of time that y'all off?
Yeah, you could. If you're lucky, you do unemployment and maybe you get some benefits. But for the most part, a lot of people either drove summer school or basically found a summer job.
All
It's a
right.
tough gig.
All right. So you pick kids up in the morning, say about a couple of hours in the morning, and then y'all go back to the terminal. Y'all what chill at the terminal until 3 o'clock ish or something like that, and y'all go and pick them up, or do yourself just go home and chill or whatever?
A lot of
How your day work?
the demographic mainly for school bus drivers that I saw is like retired people, semi-retired. They'd
Mm-hmm.
go home. Some only worked in the morning and they didn't need to work the rest of the day. I was able to stay busy in the morning and in between because it was, Wichita, Kansas school district, pretty big,
Mm-hmm.
biggest district in Kansas. So I was busy, but some people went home and came back. Some people just did the morning. So
How was it with the kids? What was the age range that you drove? Was it high schoolers? Was it
K to
middle
12,
schooler? K to oh, so you drove all of them.
everybody.
Oh, hey,
Uh,
what is if you can remember some memorable incidents if there was any?
yeah, I mean, I got good at it because you learn to drive distracted. And I know that sounds crazy, but if you can drive a school bus with kids going crazy and trying to keep them under control and try to keep your eyes on the road, your attention is divided. So that's a challenge. So that's why I always tell people, I says, if you're going to go into trucking, do the school bus first. It's multifaceted. It's a challenge, man. If you can do that, you can do anything while driving. And so my biggest experience was one time the kids were really, really rowdy. Fourth and fifth graders are really like that, especially after school. They're ready to go home. They're excited. And it's a Friday. And oh my God, I had like 45 kids going berserk. And I just couldn't take it. And I yelled at the top of my lung. I said, silence. And I felt the vibration of my voice through the bus. And boy, they shut up real quick. That was pretty
Now,
memorable.
I talked to a school bus driver. She was a female, and she one of the issues that she had that she could remember was that she actually pulled the bus over and shut the bus like literally shut the bus down and wouldn't let nobody off, and the parents was banging on the door having her to come, having her to open up the door and all like that, and she had to call the police there because from what I understand, you guys can't just let the kids get off at anywhere. Y'all technically still responsible for
Correct.
those kids, right?
Correct. That's true. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So she said she wasn't gonna, let the one kid wanted to get off, and he called his moms up there, and it just got all sorts of crazy. So
She
you
did the
left,
right thing.
so you bounced up out of there. You went to CR England, man. The three the two students to a trainer place.
Yeah.
What was that experience? Did you experience that too when you was with a trainer going out with CR England?
I lucked out. I lucked out every single time. I
Oh, okay.
I I really did.
So
It was
what
crazy.
what was your experience with CR England?
Uh, Basically, my first trainer, he was kind of a. What just happened? Can you still see me?
Uh, hold on, let's see.
My. I'm sorry
Okay,
about that.
I can see. Yeah, I can see. You're good. You're
Okay,
good.
my screen just locked and timed that on me.
Oh, okay.
Um, so I got pretty lucky. My first trainer, he didn't really care about teaching me anything. So I got to get a second chance, and I went out with a owner operator. Uh, Shout out to Rafa, aka El
Mhm.
Gato.
Okay.
That dude really helped me. He taught me how to drive stick. At the time, CR England was still doing stick.
Hmm.
Um, he had a 13 speed, taught me how to do that.
Okay.
I learned everything from him, really. And
Okay. So
yeah,
you was one of the good ones. You know, it's kind of hard to get a good trainer these days, man.
well, yeah. And the reality, to tell you the truth, I lucked out because everybody else that was at CR England with me, that went with their trainers, they were all the horror stories you've heard. They had it, so I was the only one that didn't.
Wow. All right. So I want to welcome my guest today, David Rodriguez, to the show. Uh, guys, in the comments, if y'all have any questions or anything, make sure you leave it in there and I'll get it to them. Debbie says she wants to know how was school bus pay? How did it paid out by, was y'all on salary,
Mm.
hourly? How did y'all get paid?
It was hourly. It wasn't that good when I did it. That was back in 2011. It's gotten better. It's one of those things that um, the demand for school bus, nobody wants to do it. So
Mm-hmm.
because of that, they have to pay. I mean, money talks, people walk. So eventually, at least where I was, they've increased the pay by like $3 or $4 after all
Okay.
these years because
Okay.
nobody wants to do it.
That's what's
So
up. Associate Minister, Reserve Deacon, Mr. Terry Jones, a long name, bruh. But what's going on with you? I appreciate you being here. Rico Williams, what's up with it, man? Rico says wide turns are the same on school bus and trucks.
mhm.
Um, hold on right quick. Mocha DMG, how you doing? What's going on? And Wise Owl, as always, he said, yo, make sure you smash that like button. I really appreciate if you guys do that when y'all come up in the building. So you got your CDLs in 2014. Uh of course you was with CR England and you had one of the good trainers, but how was your experience with the company as a whole?
See, yeah, everything that you've heard is true, and I'm not gonna say that that is not true. What happened with me was because I was with a owner operator slash, he was a lease operator. He just eventually paid off his truck and
Mhm.
went as an owner operator on his own and doing his own thing once he bought his truck. But all things considered, I want to say that my experience with CR England wasn't that bad because of him, because he has such a reputation. We were turning and burning, man. I mean, he trained me. He did, those that have driven for CR England know phase one, phase two. He was my phase two trainer. And yeah, we connected. We were great, became great friends, got along great. And he says, "You want to work for me?" I said, "Sure." And so I became his second seat. And yeah, I learned a lot. Um, he got a good driver out of it. And I got his experience because the guy was, I think when I met him, he had already been trucking for like 15 years. So I,
Okay.
yeah, I got an unfair advantage at CR England. It wasn't even
That
right.
was good, man. I gotta admit, you did get lucky on that one, man. Because, like I
Yeah.
said, the horror stories I hear, ooh, woo. But then
Oh, and
again, as I said before, your experience is never going to be the experience of another person. So,
well, and the thing about it is, the here's what I would say about CR England. I look at them differently now, especially since I've worked for different companies. Listen, I can tell you, like, if we get to talking about ShipEx, when I got to ShipEx, I was wishing I was at CR England.
oh,
That says a lot.
wow. Well, we're going to touch on that in a second. Paul Hall says, how was CR? Well, he just explained how was CR England. He says many CR England jobs is popping up everywhere where I live. He stays in West Virginia. Yeah,
Can
you
I
gonna
say
get that.
something else
Go ahead.
about CR England?
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, so here's the deal, right? I have to say this. So here's the negative. Yes, it's true. When I was there, you went to the terminal, and if you want to shower, it's a public facility. Is it's a little better than prison. You want to go to bed and use their hotel, similar to prison. You got 4 or 5 guys, sometimes more, and the guys that are there, guys and girls that are there for the CDL, well, sometimes they party. I mean, this stuff happens. So the negatives are there, and it's not anything that I'm going to say that nobody here hasn't heard. However, there's things that I can say about CR England that they have down. Like, they have a whole shop for working on engines. They have, when you come in, they check all your tires and they change them. They don't even ask you. You don't have to turn their arm to check your truck and fix stuff. And I started appreciating that as I started working for different trucking companies. So they take care of their equipment sometimes a little more than they take care of the driver. And I'm being modest.
I was just about to ask that. Now, as far as you drove for them 2014, you started out, it says here that you finished out the contract. So how long was the contract?
I think it was not, I think you had to do like 9 months or 12 months. I can't remember, but I remember that I was doing so good with them that I worked past it, because when I got done with the owner operator, I was living in Wichita, and they got me a dedicated account with Armor Eckridge it was dedicated account Dallas Fort Worth up to Junction City, Kansas. And I was just going up and down, like I said. But I think a part of the reason that I felt like I was getting treated fairly well, because I developed a reputation with that owner operator. And when they see you can drive, they'll work with you.
Now you finished out, as I'm continuing going through your bio over here. You finished out, everything was going good between you and the owner operator, but you were still getting paid by CR England though. So what was the rate you was getting with CR England?
All right, so this is where I'm gonna sound like everybody else. When I started out, I was getting paid like 22 cents a mile. Yeah, that's basically, everybody else has said that. By the time I left, I think I was at, I don't know, 36 cents a mile. So
nasty.
Yeah. So yeah.
I guess we can't talk. This is back in 2014. So hopefully they pay scale is different. Plus you was brand new, and they was and they was paying for your CDL. So
I never understood new drivers complaining about bad pay when you don't have no experience. I never understood
exactly. And that's what these companies that pay for your CDLs, quote unquote, that's what they banking on. Well,
right.
We got your we paying for your CDL, so you can't be upset at how much I'm giving you per mile.
Yeah, and listen, my thing is this, and maybe I'm just a nice guy, maybe I'm realist, but here's the bottom line. I got something out of them, which is a Class A, and I got training. They got something out of me, cheap labor. But after that experience, after 1 year experience and being with the amazing drivers that I was with that were teaching me, guess what, man? I respect CR England now because I've been through enough companies, and like I said, man, it's what you make it. And for me, I did their train the trainer program, and listen, every company has. Here's what I can say about CR England. Before I left, these people were pushing the survey stuff. They wanted constructive criticism. Believe it or not. Are they perfect? Of course not. Are there better companies that you can go get a CDL through their driving school and get paid well? Absolutely. That's absolutely true. But there's companies out here that are worse than CR England. I could tell you for a fact.
All right, man. Well, let me go in and acknowledge a couple of people that just stepped up in and stepped out. Debbie, you have a good night. Make sure you get some sleep. and all that good stuff. Paul Hall says thanks. All right, I appreciate it. I'm glad he answered that question for you. Trucking with Tony said, "What's the move? What's going on, bruh?" Shape World in the building. Rico Williams says, "Yeah, the Rockies 32 cent a mile." Yeah, that part right there, man. Is this is you mentioned that since you left CR England, you've been at a few companies here or there. So of course this isn't the first company that that you've been with. But what about is this the only industry that you've been in? Is there in any other industries that you touched on before you got into trucking or after you got into trucking?
Yeah. So before trucking and even during trucking, I've done sales a lot. I love sales. Uh, if I wasn't a truck driver, I'd be doing, car sales or some type of sales because I just love
Okay.
it.
Okay.
I did door-to-door sales when I was in New York City, and then when I moved to Omaha, I did some car sales there at a car wash, and really had a great time.
Now, since you from New York City, you don't have any you don't have no qualms driving up in the Northeast, would you? Being that you
No,
from there?
no. The only thing that was different going back to New York City was going back in a semi. That was big difference because I learned real quick that they're like, I know the truck routes now. Here's the deal. I'm thinking about one place right now where one of my cousins lives in Queens that the bridge says 12.6.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first went through there, I literally just parked and didn't move. And I saw a semi blow right by me. I'm like, well, he didn't hit it. So I just followed him. But those are the type of things that exist in New York City that it's not even right. That shouldn't be. You shouldn't have a 12.6 sign and a semi could fit under it. So other than obviously the traffic and it's busy, right?
I don't know. I don't even think I would have followed that. I don't even think I would have followed that truck driver. I would have probably sat my ass right there and hello. Yeah, can you
Yeah,
come
no, but
over?
I saw him go under the underpass. That was the difference. Like when I saw he made the underpass, I'm like, he's a semi just like me. There's no difference. If he made it, I could make it. But yeah.
All right, so so of course the trucking industry is different from the car industry. What was some good experience that you had at a dealership? Did you get that Rolls Royce and got that big commission?
No. I didn't do all that, but the money's good. You know what I'm saying? It's people that are afraid of commission is people that have never lived off of it. If you're good at selling and you can connect with people within the first 15 seconds, then you do all right.
Okay,
You know.
okay. How
So
how would you get how would you get an average person that just come off the street and just say I'm window shopping for a car to actually get him to buy the car?
see, okay, that's a good question. Now the thing is, people are expecting the answer of some kind of tactic or whatever. Not really. It's just talking to them like regular people. Listen, if somebody, okay, you're just window shopping, great. Can I do it with you? Can I window shop with you? What are you looking for? All right, looking for
Mhm.
SUV. Okay, and you just keep going in that direction. Um, you don't need to put the pressure. And my biggest thing that I learned in sales is I'm not selling cars anyway. I'm selling myself. So that's all I got to do is just sell me. And if people
Okay.
buy into me, whether it's a car or a broom, they're gonna buy.
Okay,
So
that's what's up. That's what's up. Shape World, what's going on with you? Junior Hernandez step up in the building. What's going on with you, bro? Yo, when we gonna get together, man? The invitation been out at you for a hot minute, bro. But I appreciate you coming up here showing some support, man. Thank you very much. JJ Hammer down, what's going on? All right, so bro, you from Puerto Rico, man. I don't hear the accent.
oh, I left New York City when I was 20, and I'm 33. So I've traveled enough. I've lost. I used to talk like New Yorkers, and get the coffee, get at the car, all that. I lost all that,
Yeah,
and I
because
used to
yeah, because you said you was born in San Juan. I'm pronouncing that right, Juan.
yeah, 1 2.
I never could get the J. My man is Resto. His name is I call him so different names because the J is like real different. So this, instead of J, it is what. San Juan. So San Juan, Puerto Rico, and you left, your family moved, and y'all moved to New York City, and you left New York all the way up to the age of 20.
I grew up in New York City, and I left when I was 20 years old. That's correct.
Okay. So, all right. So CR England, you left there. What were some other companies in between that you touched on?
Yeah, so I worked for a company for a little bit that did flatbed commercial plumbing, and did that for a little bit. That was pretty cool, delivering to different municipalities. Then I did another small outfit in Kansas, and that was a little over the road. That was cool. Did that for like 3 years and gained some more experience. And then I did sales because I missed my first love. And then I got back into trucking, and that's when I came into ShipEx. And ShipEx got me on that Facebook promotion. You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about ShipEx, because I made the call to them back in the day, and they was they was really pouring it on. They had some good key points, but a couple of drivers came and kind of like told me, don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? So how long you was with ShipEx, and what was your experience with them?
I was with them for a very short period of time, but you don't have to be them for really long to figure it out. And the thing about it is, before I say the bad stuff, I have to say this. I found out through some people that have known about ShipEx and had connections with them when they first started. Turns out this company, ShipEx, when they started, they were pretty good. They were like the GP Transco, the Nussbaum. They were like the top tier kind.
Right.
And then they lose the middle management, and everything goes down. Everything goes kaput. So that's what I learned about ShipEx, is that when I got there, they were on the downside. They may come back up, but the reality is I was there for like 3 months, and I met people halfway, like into like a month and a half. I met a guy that had been there for a year, and he was telling me so many bad stuff. I says, I got to get out. I felt like I was in the movie Get Out. I wanted to get out. And a couple weeks after that, I think it was like 30 or 45 people just quit, just like that. They lost that many people. And to me, when you see something like that, it's like, come on, what else do you need to see before you get out?
Wow.
Yeah.
But now let me ask you this, bro, because a couple of people is going to come in and be like, yo, you only been there for 3 months. So 90 days is 90 days really enough time to really put a full assessment on the company?
Oh, you could, if you want to suffer. Here's the deal. My thing is this. I made it for over a year at CR England. Okay. So you want to put apples to apples. If I could make it for over 12 months at CR England, but I had to bail after 3 at ShipEx, that pretty much says it.
What's some of the pros and cons, man? Because like I said, I of course I talked to the recruiter, And one of the biggest pro is that you get paid salary. So
Right.
everything that you do, everything, driving, sitting, sleeping, pre-tripping, post-tripping, you get paid for all across the board, no matter what.
That's correct.
That's one of the pro. But
yeah.
how much a week salary that was though?
Yeah. I think they say it's 1,000. Well, after tax, you don't take 1,000 a week.
Okay.
So maybe depending if you have kids or not, or how much insurance money your check can be 850, 900, 920, 940, whatever. So, that may be good for it. All depends on you. If that's good enough for you, you must live in a very inexpensive state or city, and you don't have a lot of bills. But for the average American, that's just not enough money. And here's the thing: that is what the salary deal. I'm going to tell you right now, ShipEx has the potential to become one of the best trucking companies out here if they would just get their money out. Period. Instead of paying people 1,000, just meet them halfway. Give them 1,500 or a little over. Doesn't take a lot to guarantee, because here's why the salary is not enough for the average driver. Before I say this, I have to say the positive. I met a couple drivers that have been with ShipEx for 3-4 years. They're happy. The difference between them and everybody else is they live in Salt Lake City, Utah. If you live in Salt Lake City, Utah, and then ShipEx might be for you. It may work because they got the salary and they got the medical. They cover your medical.
Yeah, they cover. Yeah, the medical's free, from what I understand.
Yeah, they got some good benefits, but
So
the thing that what's that?
I said that's another pro.
Correct. Another thing that made me think that I was gonna work for them, and I thought it was for me. See, the thing is, they have been advertising and marketing for like 6 months on my Facebook. That's the reason I'm on here, Lockoutmen, is because guess what? Drivers need to understand these trucking companies are putting on the A game. They're not playing no more. They don't need to deceive you. They don't need to lie to you. They're going after your psychology. Okay? They're advertising and you don't even know it's working on you. That's what happened to me. That's why I'm here. I'm not here trying to bash ShipEx. I actually give them credit because they have an amazing marketing program. I tip my hat to them because they got me. And that's not easy. You can't just do that. So, but where I messed up was I got so vested emotionally. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to make 6 figures. I didn't do my research. That's on me. So I take responsibility for that. So I just want to tell anybody, listen, if you live in Salt Lake City, Utah, I want to tell you right now, that might work for you. Because I met drivers, they all had in common, by the way. They all lived in Salt Lake City, Utah, and they were happy. But guess what? That means they're going home all the time.
All the time. Now, from what I understand, the take home, well, the guarantee or the salary is anywhere between $1,000 to about 1059 and some change or something like that. And my tax bracket is around the 300 mark. So I don't think $700 is going to work for me. Especially being an over the road driver, because that's what they want. When I talked to them, they ain't had no regional. So I would be out for like 14 days or to a month, and $700 just won't work for me. But they also have other incentives that works into that. So was you able to get any of their quote unquote bonuses that they offer?
Let's talk about that. Yeah. That's that I'm glad you brought that up, because that was the biggest thing that I found out on day one. If anybody that's listening to this broadcast can go on their web browser and Google ShipEx, go on their website. they have at the top of it, it's I think it's a red banner, and it says if you want to calculate what you could potentially earn as a ShipEx driver, it's an income calculator. You click on that, and it allows you to fill it out. It gives you what your years of experience, and I think the next one is how long or how many miles can you do, whatever. How many miles can you do a month? And I think it's like 12,000 and
Actually,
above.
I don't see the calculator.
Okay,
Well, go ahead.
let me look. It could be. Oh, I can't. Can you make it bigger so I can see?
Hold on, right quick. Hold on.
Because I can, if I could see it, I could probably point it out. What's that yellow thing on
Right
the top?
here,
What is that?
it says track shipment.
Okay, never mind.
That's their tracker.
One of those tabs should talk about, you know.
Oh, wait, salary?
There you go.
Salary
There you go.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. There it is. Okay, fill that out.
Oh, fill it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, just plug in your numbers. I mean,
All right,
15. There you go. What's the next one? Your experience.
Let's say 3
Been
years.
driving 3 years, whatever. Okay.
Okay, so
What
it
else?
says you're eligible for a productivity bonus of $2,800 every month.
Okay.
And
Now
you're
look at that yearly earnings. Look at that.
Look
at the yearly. Look at that. That's what got me. Okay.
Right. Okay. So this is but technically is this right here is what you actually getting. Everything else you got to hit.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You pretty much got to hit.
Yeah. Now let me walk you through that, because I wanna tell you what they dropped on me when I got to orientation.
Okay.
Go back to the years of experience. You put 3, but you got more years of experience than that, don't you?
Yeah.
What's your actual years of experience?
Well, I got 6.
5, 6, 6.
Yeah,
go ahead, 6.
It don't go up to 6. It's only go up to 5.
Go 5.
Okay. All right.
Now let's look at what the annual earnings are.
All right. Hold on right quick. Let me
I already know what it's gonna be.
All right. So
exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Here,
it's $104,000. 104,000, 104,250 a year. That's 6 figures, right?
Right.
All right. Now let's go back, and I'm gonna correct you and tell you what they told me. See that part where it says your years of experience? You probably thought that was the amount of years that you've been driving a tractor trailer. Here at ShipEx, that is not correct. You start at 0.
Oh, okay.
So that's the catch.
How?
Yeah.
Oh.
You got it. Yep. You figured it out.
Oh, it takes me a minute, but so it's not my experience.
It's not your years of experience. It's how many years have you been with ShipEx. So if you have been 5 years with ShipEx, yes. But when you start at ShipEx, you start like everybody else at the bottom.
Wow.
That's why I'm on here. That's why I needed to get on here, because people that follow you need to know.
So when I called this is why a while back, I probably might have to do a follow-up call, but
they're not gonna reveal what I just revealed to you, by the way.
So basically they'll tell me like, oh yeah, you got 5 years of experience, and
they're not gonna correct
you can easily make 6 figures with us. You'll get a salary, you'll get a productivity bonus, you'll get a compliance bonus. But that's with them.
So imagine you call a recruiter, right? And you say all that. I'm the recruiter, and you're talking like that. I'll just be like, okay. I'm not gonna correct you. I'm just gonna let you talk yourself into the job.
Wow. And
it's a matter of semantics.
And that was recruiters do, man.
Yeah.
We got people that actually says that it's an awesome place, family and culture. But one of the dudes said, "Be prepared to work."
Yeah.
And
true.
this one right here says it all. If it's too good to be true, then it isn't. Wow, ShipEx, man.
Which is a shame because now imagine this, Lockout man. Imagine that with your experience, you could start out at the 5, with a calculator, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know how many truckers will be going to that company?
A gang of us,
Yeah.
6 figures right off the rip. With the bonus, plus we get paid, quote unquote, get paid for everything that we do. Yeah, a lot of drivers is gonna run over there. So this is again, this is 3 months. So I mean,
I found that out the first day of orientation, bro.
Right, but you rocked out with them for 3 months, so there had to be something else that you didn't continue, with 3 months, or was it that, and you tried to push it a little bit more?
No, I only did the 3 months because I couldn't get out sooner.
Okay.
So, we have a saying in Spanish. It goes, "Con poca palabra, el buen entendedor entiende todo." What that means is, with a few words, a person of understanding can understand everything. So, yes, I've heard the 90-day rule. I'm doing that right now as a lease operator, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is true. By the way, I'm making good money. But what I'm trying to say is this. Listen, if you a person that is smart and you can see the handwriting on the wall, you can read it, understand it, and get out. Like, you don't need to put yourself through the torture, So,
man.
Yeah.
Well, I see you clean, bro. I see that plush back there in the back.
Yeah.
That icon, what's that? 800, 900?
900.
900.
Yeah,
I see you plushed out, man. What tell everybody what you in right now and what you doing right now.
Yeah, so right now, this is a lease purchase. This is a W900 Kenworth, 2015, and it's a great truck. It's obviously not a Cascadia, so you got to turn a little wider. It's got a long nose, and I got about a 10-foot gap between, back of my, tractor and the front of the trailer.
Right.
So
okay.
it requires a little more turning radius, but it's a wonderful ride. And this thing is a bunking Bronco, bro. Like, you tap the accelerator and it wants to pull you off the driver's seat. It's crazy,
So how did you come across? How did you find this company, man?
A friend of mine was on Craigslist. He sent it to me. I called the guy up. We, ran some numbers, talked for like a couple days, and yeah, I met the guy in person, shook his hand. We went through some more numbers, and I says, all right. And it's a walkaway lease. I mean, it's a good deal. There's nothing bad for me to say. I did my research, and he says, hey man, if it works out, we'll do business with you forever. But if it doesn't work, you can always walk away. And like I said, man, I'm making great money. I'm making owner operator money. Even considering the fact that, hold on, I think it blacked out on me again. Am I there? Okay.
No, you still here. You good.
Okay. Even though, like, this is, this is a big truck. It gets about 5.5 miles to the gallon. So it definitely doesn't run. It's not fuel efficient. But, it's a trade-off. If you see a red W900 truck passing you in Wyoming while you're climbing the Two Sisters, then that's me.
That's what's up.
That's me.
Well,
I'm the guy passing you.
A lot of guys have issues about leasing.
Yeah.
What was it that brought you into leasing? Like,
Okay.
what was it that got you into it, and what research that you did that that took you to the leasing route?
So everything that's been said about lease purchase is true. And the reason it's true is because a lot of these companies that do the lease purchase are, I call the mega carriers, the big fish. They're the ones doing it, and they're scraping you. Companies like CR England, Prime, name them, all of them. They all do it. And it's meant to benefit them. You absorb all the risk, and they take all the money. So, yeah, that's why it doesn't work. This company that I'm with, they only got like 7 or 8 trucks. It's a mom pop deal. They gotta see you every day. They're not a big company, so it's like they're not gonna screw you. It's just regular down to earth people that they want you to succeed because you make money, it makes them money. And if that's what I would tell anybody that's here that wants to get into owner operator, find a small outfit. Listen, I learned something out of trucking, and this is it. I don't need to say anything else. One thing I learned is the way to make money in trucking is go with the small companies. And I mean, Lockoutmen knows that. A lot of people do. But
I agree. I mean, it's a good small company that you also got
correct.
to research too, because there is some
Yeah.
ill mom and pop companies out there too.
Yeah.
Don't just fall for what they have to say too. You probably might want to do some background research and all like that, how long they've been in existence, how
Hmm.
they treat their drivers and all like that. So you might want to just take your time. Take your time and research, period. That's all it
Yeah.
is.
Absolutely.
And definitely with ShipEx, yeah, well, it's an eye opener with that.
See
Yeah,
that calculator? I just blew the lid on ShipEx with that.
yeah, I see. Yachty, what's going on, man? He said, "What's up, Lockout?" Owner operator Yachty is in the building. He said, "By March, I will have my 5th truck." God is amazing. Yes, he is, man, and congratulations, bro. Um, David, man, what other issues do you have? Do you find yourself tackling within trucking or life, man?
Um, well, so I'm glad you brought that up because here's the politic of the politic, or what is it? Park and politic. Here's the
Parking
politic of it.
politics. Yes, sir.
Let's get into it. So, the problem with trucking, and if any of us that talk to these truckers that retired, they're 70, they're 65, some of them are 80 years old. You talk to them, they all say the same thing. There's no money in trucking anymore. The reason they're saying that is because there was this is the politics of it. There was a business deal struck, I think it was in the 70s. By the way, this information is available on YouTube, Google, you can find it. There was a broker that blew the lid on this information I'm about to share, and you can look it up. What happened in the 70s was there was a deal made between Walmart, uh, the railroad company, I think is Union Pacific,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a third leg in there. I think it's a government agency. I can't remember. But these 3 entities, Walmart, the railroad company, and I think a government agency, made a deal.
Mm.
This is what put the lid on trucking. So that this is why all the mega carriers, they all bow the knee to Walmart. Walmart is the one dictating the price of freight. Walmart is the reason why you got bottom feeder mega carriers out here bowing the knee to Walmart and doing whatever they say.
I think
Well,
I
it's
think I could agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. Go ahead.
but this is something that happened in the early 70s, and this business contract was even taken up to, I think there was like if you guys ever heard about the truckers, owner operators going on strike, going to Washington D.C., they were going on strike because of this, trying to bring it to President Trump for him to override it, do away with this. And if this ever gets overturned, it's basically like an antitrust, like a monopoly kind of deal. that is happening between Walmart, and when I say the railroad company, Union Pacific Railroad replaced that with Warren Buffett. So just bring some more familiarity into the equation. Yeah, this was something that was intended to lock in a freight rate, a flat freight rate for freight for Walmart that benefits them. Okay. And actually, I think it just came back to me. It's Walmart, the railroad company, and there was another trucking company. And I don't know if it was Snyder or one of these guys. Okay. So that's what screwed everything up. And that's why we have the things the way they are now. If nobody took cheap freight, then the price of freight will go up and your salary will go up also. There's no trucker shortage, by the way. That's another myth that we need a politic.
Yeah. No,
that's a myth.
I just think that these companies just don't treat their drivers well. That's why they say it's a quote unquote shortage. I mean, I wouldn't leave a company if you was treating me well. Why would I leave a company if you treated me well? You're not giving me the. You want me to do a month out, sacrifice my life for $700 a week? Maybe somebody, of course, there's going to always be somebody new that's going to do that. Just like you got all these new owner operators, and no offense to you.
You're right.
These new lease guys that's coming in, like you said, taking the cheap freight. Now the guy that's driving the W9, that's you, that's driving that clean W9, and you paying about $1,000 or whatever you paying for it and all like that. Of course, you're not going to take no freight at no 50 cent, at no 50 cent or 90 cent a mile. You're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. You're going to need at least 2 at the minimum.
You're right.
And 3 at the most.
Boy, they be sleeping on you, Lockout, man. He's right.
But they got people. They got people. They got coyotes. I'll just say it like that. Let's say coyotes. They got coyotes that will take 50 cents because they don't have no overhead. It's like my hustling days back in the day. I did the CDs and DVDs. I did $10 a DVD. Nobody questioned that. How much? I got that new movie that's playing in the theater. Oh, you got that? Anybody else got? No, I got it. You want it? $10. But everybody, when the shit got saturated, everybody start coming in. You got that. You always going to have that one motherfucker that's going to take cheap freight or that's going to always undercut you. Period.
Instead of $10, it was now $5.
Instead of $10, it's $5. Now it's $1 because you can go and get a 50 pack for you can get a 50 pack for $10, sell it for $1, you got 50, you made a $40 profit. But back then, a 50 pack costed, like a 50 pack at the time when I was coming up. A 50 pack, actually, it wasn't even a 50 pack. I had to get the name brand ones, the Maxwell's, the whatever they was, and that shit was fucking expensive. But then now later down the line, they came with the cheap DVDs, the cheap DVRs, the cheap CDRs, and all like that. They was all cheap. So same thing with trucking. There's gonna be somebody that just got their truck. They just brought their truck because there's a lot of you on YouTube, a lot of you on Facebook. I just brought my truck today. I just got my truck. God is good. God is great. Got my truck today. Yada yada yada. But what you gonna do when you start looking for that freight and you got Billy Barker over here offering 50-cent freight, and you can't negotiate that shit. You're gonna have to, you're gonna end up taking it because you're gonna need the money to pay for it.
Well, and at that point, it's not a business. It's you're basically paying them to move their freight.
Exactly, and that's another thing too that people don't realize. Like when you lease from, I'm going to throw it out there. When you lease from J&R Frugal, you're not buying the truck. You're leasing the truck. Just think about it. It's just like a car. You're leasing. You paying the dealership to drive that car for a certain period of time. Then you turn that car in with stipulations. It can't be over a certain amount of miles. You can't be. It can't be this. It can't be that. Same thing with the trucking company.
Yeah.
But
well,
that's
and I like to say this. I know that I'm leasing now, but I'm a numbers guy, and one of the things that causes me to not be so in love with this truck is the fuel economy. And guess what? There's more than one way to skin a cat. I can, and I've been thinking about this. I could literally go Penske, which is my favorite, and rent the equipment. And anything that goes wrong, it's on their dollar. And put it into the renting agreement that if it does go down, they give me a loaner. It's part of it. You see what I'm saying? So these things can be done. And a lot of this stuff that I learned was not what I'm doing now, but is in other companies that I've driven for that have strictly rental equipment. In other words, they don't own a thing. So this idea of that you got to own everything, you don't have to. There's companies out here that do that all the time. There's a lot of companies doing that.
A lot of companies running off credit, bro. They ain't running off their own money. They running off credit. If you don't learn that quick, people ain't spending their own. The U.S. Express, CR England, and the rest of them ain't using their money. They using credit.
OPM. And that's OPM, other people's money, right?
Yeah, they using credit. Yachty says, David R, man, he says, like your chain, what's the diamond clarity and what kind are they? He said he just got him a Cuban. He just got a Cuban with VVS and 2 carats SI diamonds. He spent well around $2,200, but I have insurance and yellow tags on it.
This is actually not a chain. This is a pendant. And it's made out of a bunch of different metals, and it combats RFID. I'm one of them guys.
Have you spent time in Florida, man? Because a lot of Cubans, a lot of Puerto Ricans hang out in Florida too, man.
You asking me? I got family in Florida.
Okay.
I got a lot of cousins, my aunts and uncles there down there. The stereotype is true.
What what would you say would be some of your greatest accomplishments in trucking, bro?
So this is actually not my first time doing a lease purchase. This is my second time. So I was pretty proud of myself the first time. I didn't complete the lease purchase, but the fact that I was able to stay profitable and run the truck. I mean, you got a lot of these guys out here that, they get into stuff, they don't know what they're doing. So that's one of those things. You have to know what you're doing. And that's why for me, when I came on with this guy, he was kind of questioning me because he wasn't sure. Well, after like 2 weeks, he's like, okay, yeah, this guy knows what he's doing. He's like, you're getting better fuel mileage on that truck than some of these other trucks that we got. So, yeah.
David R, everybody. That's what's up, man. Dave, man, I gotta ask you, bro. You only been in the game for a short time. I mean, well, I wouldn't say short. I mean, you've been in the game since 2014. So what, 6 years?
Yeah, 5, 6 years. I say 5 years because I took a year where I was doing sales. So 5 years.
You came in and you really took the bull by the horns with this with this trucking thing, man. What is a lot of guys, you know, when they come into this industry, some say that this is like their last resort, and I tend to understand it more because there's nowhere else or no other industries, maybe with the car industry, but there's no other
Yeah.
industry where you can make this kind of money. You know what I'm saying? What sets you apart from other drivers, especially on the lease side? What sets you apart from other drivers that's doing lease?
There's a couple things actually. Now I could, uh, I got the load board on my phone. I could get my own loads, but it's like you said, I don't take cheap freight. I can't afford to do that. There's a cost of doing business. You got to know your fixed costs. You got to know your variable costs, and you have to know what the overhead is. So in order to stay in business and keep your revenue up, you got to know what it takes. You got to know your numbers. For me, I'm a numbers guy. I love numbers. So I think that kind of sets me apart. And the other thing is, I'm not a super trucker. If you see my truck, you think that I am, but I'm not. And that's actually commendable. I think a lot of these super truckers, the common thing you see with them is they lie. Well, I keep it real. I don't need to lie. And to be honest with you, any of us can make it out here. All you got to do is be disciplined. I'm not a hot rod. This truck is wide open. I can go as fast as I want, but I average about 60 miles an hour. That's why I be putting around, you know. And
Okay.
so, yeah, I just keep, like I said, I know my numbers and I'm mindful about the fuel because that's the most expensive thing. And another thing I would say, I don't fuel at Loves or Pilot. It's too expensive. I hardly ever fuel there. I only fuel there if I do, I'm doing 50 gallons. I'm not going to waste my money. So, and that's a lot of guys out here, they company drivers, that's all they know is Pilot, TA. Guess what? I could pay for a $10 shower. That's way cheaper than, paying 30, 40 cents more. I'm sorry, that's how it is out here. So,
Now me being a company driver, yeah, I'm in that peril. You know what I'm
well,
saying?
you have to,
Going
right?
to, yeah,
Don't
going
they
to
make you
well, I don't
fuel
have
out of
to,
certain ones?
I, I don't have to go to Loves, I guess.
Okay.
I don't have to go to Loves, but I go to Loves. You see
Okay.
what I'm saying? But if I
That's
was,
fine.
but if I was to get my own per se, then
Uh-huh.
yes, I would look for other other options as far as the fuel, because ain't the fuel is your biggest commodity, or is the biggest
That's
um
gonna be, yeah, yeah,
your
like
expense. That's your biggest expense, right?
absolutely every single time. So if you can mitigate that and keep that cost as low as possible, you're gonna do great. Now, I think I'm doing exceptionally well considering that I got a truck that doesn't get a lot of fuel mileage. It's at 5. If I had a Freightliner Cascadia getting 7 miles to the gallon or more, then my profit margins will be a lot juicier. But you know, this is what I'm doing for now. It's not set in stone. You got one guy there that's got 5 trucks. That's the goal. Anybody that's going to be an owner operator, I don't know one owner operator that has dreams of staying at one truck, and I'm no different. I plan on eventually getting, you know, 2 trucks, 3, and you keep going. You know,
Yachty asks you, he says, what are your most scariest moments behind he said, what are your most scariest moments behind the wheel? I'm thinking it's behind the wheel. He says, honest answer only.
oh yeah, I've had a couple. I've had a couple. I'm one of those truck drivers that I'll say right away, I'm not that good. I'm not that perfect, because this is why I believe in God. I've been in situations that I should have plowed right into traffic. I was Interstate 55 into Memphis, Tennessee. And
That's a good question.
yeah, well, I remember this, like, I never forget this. I was cresting the hill, and right over the hill, there was traffic stopped. It was a parking lot, and I was going like 55. And I thought for certain I was going to plow into everybody. So that was, yeah, that was pretty scary.
Wow. Niners Nation, what's going on, bro? Thanks for coming up in here. He wants to know, he said, what are some advice for a mobile mechanic business?
Okay.
Uh
I got you. So yeah, I've not done only trucking. I used to do I used to sell used to do telemarketing before, and I used to call business owners, try to get them ads on the phone book. Believe it or not, that's a good one. And not just the phone book. If you could get yourself on the first page of Google, hire one of these teenagers that knows, search engine optimization, stuff like that. You can get a digital advertisement thing going, get on yellow pages online, all that kind of stuff, man. You're going to do good.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, because it kind of threw me off there for a second. Mobile mechanic?
Yeah.
Well, mobile, yeah.
People need to Google you.
Yeah, trucking too. He also come back and says, how can we better service the owner operator? How do we make how do we market to owner ops?
He's talking about, is that the mechanic guy?
Yeah, there's his question right there, if you can see it.
Yeah. Well, that, like, listen, the fact that you're a mobile mechanic, you're helping me out already. Because, if I break down on a highway or interstate, I don't want to deal with Loves or TA. They're going to charge me up the wazoo. If you're a mobile mechanic, you're already going to be cheaper out the bat. And so just you being a mobile mechanic is going to help me out a lot, because you're going to be cheaper. And that's part of your business model that sets you apart from these other people. Because when we call the petrol shop or people like that, first question they ask me is, can you bring it to us? Okay, if they have to come out to me, they're going to charge me for that. And that's expensive. Mobile mechanic, that's built into his business. So it's not a real extra charge. That's how they do it. So just you being the business model you are helps us out, because you're going to, put your prices versus the major shops, you're cheaper. And you have to know that you're cheaper.
Always. You gotta it's competition, you know what I'm saying? You and it's unfortunate, it's everywhere, you trying to get your foot in, especially if Loves is charging $100, maybe you'll come down to 95. You don't want to set yourself too cheap, and then you don't want to be too much. You just want to be in the, try to maybe $5 or $10 less, but still be profitable. So,
well, the thing about it is, like I said, the Loves and all those people, they have extra charges. And just because you're mobile, you could do those extra charges if you want. It's like the towing company, same thing. These people charge $300 just because they had to come see you.
Oh yeah, I fuck with the towing. That's my shit right there, man. We ain't gonna touch on that. Shit, just for a tow truck just to come out, it's gonna be about for semi, and it's not fair. It really isn't. It's not fair at all that a semi driver or a semi get double charged
yes
more than what than what an average,
Yeah.
four-wheeler or something like that. Because when I came out, I was called out plenty of times to unlock, get them in their trucks.
Yeah.
That's $200. I
Yeah.
kid you not. That's
So like the mobile
$200.
mechanic, he charged $50 less. He's already helping us. You see what
Right.
I'm saying? It's little stuff like that that what I would do if I was him. Just really honest, I'm just gonna put it out there. If I was him, I'd be calling shops. I'd be calling the competition and calling like I'm a driver and just ask whatever I do or I could do, whatever my services that I can do. I just call on that. Okay, what do you guys charge for changing a tire for the trailer? What do you charge for this? And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Rico Williams, who do you want me to get on the show? You want me to get Niners Nation? You want me to get him on the show? That's who you want me to get on the show. Don Schuler says he hears that Mud Flap app gives you great fuel discounts. Have you heard of that app?
I have. I have not used it. I used what's this other one? I use a fuel optimization app. I can't remember the name of it, but it gives me all the cheap fuel on the route. Yeah, I've heard of Mudflap. I've not dabbled into it, but I'd have to check it out.
As a lease operator going into going into ownership, man. What are I'm glad that he mentioned the apps. But what are some apps that you're using, and what are you doing to save money, to put $1 more in your pocket?
Well, I'm kind of old school. I'm not really. I've searched. Excuse me. I've searched a couple apps and stuff, but I'm kind of old school. I'm a numbers. I have my numbers set. 30% goes to pay the government. 20% goes into my maintenance, and then 20% goes in savings, and everything else is to pay the bills, and that's it. That I just keep it simple that kind of way. You went away.
There you go. I'm back. There we go. I was sending my information out to Niners Nation so he can get up at me. No problem, Rico Williams. I sent it out. So just get at me at Lockoutmen over at Instagram, Niners Nation, and we'll definitely get you on. Yadi says, have you ever been tempted to get really, man?
What do you say?
Aren't you? Well, let me ask you this before I even ask you. Are you married or are you single?
I'm single.
Yadi want to know, have you ever been tempted to give a lot lizard some of your time? And he said, be honest, my guy.
No, see, that's an easy one to answer because I've not, I don't know about you guys, but I haven't seen one good-looking lot lizard yet.
No, there's
I'm sorry.
I gotta admit, there's not no good-looking ones out here, bro.
Right.
The ones that come knocking up on my door, if they
all look like Tales from the Crypt.
Yes. Hey. Hi.
There's no temptation there. Yeah.
Hey,
I have some stories on that.
What's up with it? What's up? You want some company? No. I'm good. I'm good, but I'm not knocking your hustle though. I'm not knocking your hustle. But make sure, I hope you go in there and get yourself clean. That's all. After you done the damn thing. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're better off going to the Bunny Ranch in Nevada.
A little
Those
bit
are
more,
a lot better.
A little bit more cleaner.
Oh yeah, better looking and everything. Yeah, just hire a professional.
Yadi want to know what's your scariest truck stop?
Scariest truck stop. The one that's not well lit. Yeah, I don't have one specific. Yeah.
That's what's up. Wise Owl, what's going on? He said, I almost fell for one last week. I had to stand down, had to think about the consequences.
You know, can I say something about that? Here's the
Go
deal.
ahead.
A lot of
Go
truck
ahead.
drivers do not know that these lot lizards are not always by themselves.
No, they're not.
And this probably doesn't happen as much today as it used to back in the day, but some of these women run with pimps or a key grip kind of guy that waits for you to let her in, and then you're done. They can take you out, take your money. Hopefully you don't have any, but they can do damage. And some of these lot lizards are strapped, so it's not worth it. I'd rather just hire a professional.
It's not worth it, man. It's not worth it. I was at Mike's truck stop, Lamar, Mississippi. You guys know where that at. The two pilots right across the street, I posted up in that little area right there. Go and check out the lot lizard video, because that's one that I'm telling you about, the train that was just the constant door knocking all through the night.
Boy.
Curtains pulled, and curtains pulled like do not disturb, but they still. So the guy parked next to me, foreign guy, parked next to me, and he opened his door for a female. He had his wallet in the cubby hole part of the door, which never put your wallet in the fucking cubby hole part of the door. If you're gonna put your wallet somewhere, put it up in the top, in the top, or in the storage bin above your head, or whatever. Or
correct.
Or you could just get the Ridge wallet, and you can keep it all the time. Ridge wallet. Make sure y'all get one of these. You know what I'm saying? Very simple, very compact. Ridge
Is that
wallet.
one of the sponsors?
They're not a sponsor, but they will be soon. They need to be. They need to be. But he opened the door. Chick snatched his shit and ran off. And I was just happened to sit in my seat, and I seen the chick run. I mean, she ran over to the car. Like you said, they're never alone. She hopped in the fucking car and took off. And the dude saw me in the seat, and I'm over here like. So he came over to my door. I raised down the window. I was like, bro, you all right? She stole my wallet. It has everything in it. It has had his driver's license, had the fuel card, had his debit card, a couple of dollars that he had in there. So I told him, I said, first thing you need to do is, call your debit card so you can cut it off right now, because I can guarantee you they on their way right now to burn them cars. I kid you not. Either they're going to go to Walmart, or they're going to go get some fuel. They're going to burn your cars right now. So first thing you need to do is call your people, call and cancel. Next thing you need to do, you got to call the company, because being that your driver's license, they got that. Technically, you can't. Well, you could probably drive. I mean, if you know your driver's license number. But I don't know if the company gonna let you drive. You see what I'm saying? So, plus another thing, you said the fuel card was gone too. So how you gonna fuel the truck if So he had to call the company. So I don't know what happened, but yeah, I agree. If the lot lizards, don't mess with them. Do like my man said, you go get yourself a professional one.
Yes. That's right.
Oh man, that's what's up. That's what's up. All right, everybody, my man. We hold on right quick. There we go. David Rodriguez. Thanks, brother, man, for coming on the Lockoutmen show tonight to share some of your experience, answer a few questions for the L.O.M community. Let me see. Niners Nation, you got my information, man. So get at me. We'll set up a date for you to come on to the show. What advice before you get on up out of here, man? Let me go back. And what message you want to impart on all the new truckers that's coming into this game, man?
First thing I would say is work ethic. You gotta have it. You know, you gotta have the work ethic. I've trained when I was at Sierra England. I was a trainer. Meet so many people get into trucking not knowing what they're getting into. Listen.
Oh, bro, you did not say you was a trainer, man. We ain't even tip on that, but this ain't gonna be the last. This ain't gonna be the last time you're on the show. No, this ain't gonna be the last time. Oh, you good?
Okay, okay. What I would say is this. Listen, we're living in 2020 with YouTube. You got Lockoutmen podcasts on YouTube. There's more than enough information out here to do your due diligence, do your research. There's experienced truckers out here with YouTube channel that you can just do your research and there's no excuse. We're living in the information age. There's an abundance of information for you to make an educated decision. But aside from that, back to my first point, work ethic. And for me, trucking, I love trucking, is my passion. I didn't know this till later on in life. I've been wanting to be a truck driver for a while. Later on was that I found out that my granddad used to be a truck driver in the Caribbean. Didn't know that. So this is in my DNA. I had no idea. I know now. For me, I do it because I love it. I love trucking. If I couldn't truck, I'd be doing sales, but you got to love it. And if you love it, then you're going to have the work ethic. So
that's what's up, man. That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm putting you down. I'm putting you down in my contact as I'm speaking right now. So let's say David. And I'll just say
we're gonna have to do more of the politics on the next show.
No doubt, man. No doubt, man. No doubt. You definitely a friend of the show, man. So you go ahead and get some rest, man. I really do appreciate you coming down, chopping it up with me, man, politicking with me and all like that. So go ahead and get some rest so you can get ready for tomorrow. I'll talk to you either tomorrow or whatever, man. We got each other's phone number. We'll chop it up.
Okay, sounds good, man. Thank you.
All right, I appreciate you.
All right, good night.
That's my man, David Rodriguez from Puerto Rico. Well, he's from the Bronx, the Boogie Down Bronx. That's what's up. That's going to do it for this episode of the Lockoutmen podcast show. As you guys know, I'm always on the go, but I got the show for you guys. Look, I got more stuff in store for you guys. I got the Q&A session Sundays, so definitely come back on Sunday with me and Drill Sergeant. I got the Make the Calls, which is now for 2021 is migrating into company spotlights now. So it's gonna you guys know it as to Make the Call, but for the new people that's coming in, it's gonna be company spotlights now. So if y'all have anybody that y'all want to request for me to call, definitely leave it in the comments below, or hit me up in the email, or hit me up in the DM over at Instagram. And tomorrow, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Wait a minute. I hold on. See, this what y'all. See, y'all, this what's up, man. Hold on. Let me go to the history, because I've been following I've been following my damn shit all damn day. All damn day. It's already up to 1,500 views. 1,500. That's crazy. Let me hopefully hold on. There we go. Hold on. There we go. Hold on. There we go. Guys, here's the promotion for you. All right. Here's the promotion for you. Wait a minute. I am here.
What's your name? Emoji sign. Open that app. Where you at? What's your name? Emoji sign. Open that app. Where you at? Don't tap.
Y'all need a reminder.
What's your name? Emoji sign. Open that app. Where you at? What's your name? Emoji sign. Open that app. Where you at? Where you at?
I'm just
What's your
saying.
name? Emoji sign.
Y'all know what to do tomorrow. It's supposed to be 8 o'clock. But it might be a little bit later. But I don't know. Me and her gonna be we're gonna be all day. Also, make sure you guys share this video, man. OnlyFans guy gets the BBW version of Rakishi's stink face. Definitely share that video, man. Until next time, let me see. Hold on. You know what? I think I might want my man to play me out. Hold on. You know what? Let me see if it hold on. Let me. There we go. All right. I think I'm gonna have this to play me out. I am here at the Super 8.
What's your name?
Hold on, here we go.
What's your name? Emoji sign. Open that app. Where you at? What's your name? Emoji sign. Open that app. Where you at? Don't tap. All these eyes.